Welcome back. The smiles are wide, not just ours, but I think most people on the street because it's been such a good week. And the cues are a little mixed, you'd have to say. But the Indian market has been charting its own course. Maybe today is a day of a bit of a consolidation, which is never a bad thing. 18 points lower on the implied open. Lots of stocks to track today. So let's straight away get to our list of top 10 stocks to watch this Friday morning. Our team is standing by. And we have Hormaz to kick off the proceedings with the big news on Bajaj Finance. So finally, we have clarity on the management changes. Hormaz, good morning. Tell us.
Good morning, Surabhi. And finally, as you mentioned, much awaited, the long-awaited overhang also on the stock has been finally addressed last evening with Rajeev Jain being elevated to the post of Vice Chairman and Executive Director at Bajaj Finance for a 3-year period. His term is coming to an end as MD and CEO at the end of this month. So this was a much-needed clarity that the street was looking for. And Anup Kumar Saha will now be the new Managing Director for a 3-year period as well. So that is the important one. Of course, hints were there before as well. Sanjeev Bajaj spoke to us exclusively earlier this week. He also mentioned that Rajeev Jain remains very committed to the business and the board will take a call on it. And Rajeev Jain himself had given inclinations of that in the earnings call of the previous quarter when he had mentioned that he would like to remain at the company and be actively involved in shaping the strategy of the company and its subsidiaries as well. So positive development for Bajaj Finance. Price target hikes across the board from brokerages as well. Expect the stock to open in the green.
All right, expect the stock to open in the green. The other one that we're looking at is Manappuram Finance. The long-awaited Bain deal has happened, but not before the stock went into F&O ban in yesterday's trading session as well. Moved to the high point of trade in the last 30 minutes. But Sudarshan joins in with all the details. Sudarshan.
So like Bajaj Finance, this too has been long awaited after several reports over several months and weeks. Finally, the deal has been announced, and it's the deal of more than $1 billion, or say more than rupees 10,500 crore. Bain Capital is likely to going to acquire up to 42% stake, valued at rupees 10,500 crore, and the deal is being done at rupees 236 per share. So Bain Capital will be holding, like having joint control over the company with the existing promoters, and existing promoters will hold after the deal 28.9% stake, and currently promoters holding is more than 35% stake. Now, deal is being basically done in two parts. In the first part, Bain Capital is going to acquire up to 18% stake, and that would happen via both equity and warrants in the same proportion, that is of 9.3 crore each. In the second part, open offer Bain Capital will be making, and that open offer is also being made at rupees 236 per share, and that would be for acquiring stake up to 26%. All the regulatory approvals that Bain Capital would require are for this deal of RBI, IRDAI and CCI. Now, apart from this, Asirvad Microfinance, if you remember, it's a subsidiary of Manappuram Finance. It had filed for the IPO. Now, company has announced that because of this deal, now Asirvad Microfinance will be withdrawing its DRHP for the IPO. Now, because of the deal is being done at a much premium of 10% premium to yesterday's closing price and nearly 30% premium if you take the average of last 6 months, I'm going with green because the deal has finally happened.
Ah, okay.
All right. Thank you very much for that. Well advertised and, it's finally sort of come through. We'll try and have the management to talk to us about this one. Well, let's talk about Accenture, right? I mean, the stock was down sharply last night, 7%, but for a very specific reason with respect to Accenture. Rima is here to contextualize this for us. Rima, morning.
Hi, thanks so much for that. So Accenture's Q2 numbers were fine. The company went ahead and raised the lower end of its full-year revenue guidance. From 4 to 7%, it now stands at 5 to 7%. But as you pointed out, the stock was under pressure yesterday on account of uncertainty related to its business with the federal government, in particular, what impact the Dodge will have. Now, what the company said in the conference call, the federal government services account for 8% of Accenture's global revenues. Accenture is one of the top 10 vendors to the US government. And the US government's guidance is that if the work is not mission critical, then cancel it. So therefore, there is a lot of uncertainty surrounding it. The company itself highlighted it in the conference call. Julie Sweet, the CEO, and that's the reason why the stock was under pressure. Indian IT companies, in that context, do not have a large exposure, very minimal exposure to the US government contracts. That's what analysts point out. Now, coming back to Accenture's numbers and what the relevance is for Indian IT, well, Q2 numbers, as I said, was fine. Deal bookings were a tad bit soft, so that's disappointing. But the company highlighted increased macro uncertainty again in the conference call. They're seeing an elevated level of uncertainty in the global economic and geopolitical environment. Discretionary spend, particularly the smaller deals, is still a bit constrained, though large outsourcing deals continue, which is a positive because vendor consolidation is still taking place. Back to you.
Okay, all right, Rima, got it. Thanks very much for that. So we'll watch out for all the IT names. We also need to watch out for a lot of defense names. Remember, yesterday, the Defense Acquisition Council announced procurement worth, several hundreds of crores of rupees. Vamakshi is here to give us the details. Vamakshi, good morning.
Well, good morning, Surbi. The DAC, that is the Defence Acquisition Council, has gone ahead and approved 8 defence proposals worth over 54,000 crores. Under these proposals, they will be acquiring, number one, 1,350 HP engines for T-90 tanks, and the key beneficiary of which will be BEML. Varunastra torpedoes, which is the second thing that they will be acquiring, which is an indigenously developed ship-launched anti-submarine torpedo. And the key beneficiaries for this will be BDL, that is Bharat Dynamics, as well as Bharat Electronics. Lastly, they will be acquiring airborne early warning and control aircraft systems, and the key beneficiaries of this, the list includes BEL, Astra Microwave, as well as Data Patterns. Now, in addition to this, the DAC has also approved guidelines for reducing the timelines at various stages of the capital acquisition process, and this in turn will help it make it faster, efficient, as well as more effective. So therefore, this announcement bodes well for all of these counters.
Indeed, and the defence stocks have seen a bit of a bounce earlier this week itself. Thank you for that, Vamakshi. But TBO Tech is one of the stocks that Vivek is watching out for this morning. Vivek, why?
That's right. So a block deal was launched in TBO Tech last evening. We had accessed the term sheet. So there are 2 sellers, both part of the public shareholding, Augusta TBO Singapore as well as TBO Korea Holdings. Both of these entities are combined will sell close to 3.1% of the total equity. The deal is likely to happen at a 7% discount to yesterday's closing. So the floor price of the deal is at 1,180 rupees a share. Total size of the deal is close to 400 crore rupees. And remember, there's a lockup of 30 days on further sale of shares by both of these entities. So going with the red as far as TBO Tech is concerned.
Okay, all right, Vivek, got it. So TBO Tech on our list as well. Ola Electric, the news flow continues to be difficult around the company. And yesterday we heard people from the Maharashtra administration talk about taking some very specific penal steps against the company. We have Parikshit joining in to tell us what the latest is. Parikshit, morning.
Well, Ola Electric has confirmed to CNBC TV18 Newsbreak that they've received letters from MHI and MORTH about discrepancies in their sales data. In fact, sources tell us that they've actually got a second letter from MORTH, the Ministry of Road Transport, because the government was not happy with the first reply that Ola Electric had given to the government. Having said that, we can confirm to our viewers that 34 of Ola Electric stores in Maharashtra have been sealed. They have faced similar inspections in Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka and Punjab as well. So the regulatory scrutiny for Ola Electric has been increasing. 36 scooters have been confiscated in the state of Maharashtra alone, pending investigation. At the same time, Ola Electric is claiming that they have sold around close to 40% of the Feb backlog has been cleared, but we really need to see as to how much of the scooters which have been registered and sold in the month of March are for the month of March and are for the month of February as well. So a lot of questions still for Ola Electric, and the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways and the Ministry of Heavy Industries continue to ask questions about differences in sales data.
Right. In fact, thank you for bringing us up to speed with that, Parikshit. In fact, let's listen into the Maharashtra Transport Commissioner speaking exclusively to CNBC TV18 on this very issue.
One complaint is received to Honorable Minister of Transport Maharashtra, which he has forwarded to me. And it is alleged that the Ola Electric is operating without a trade certificate. On the basis of that complaint, we inspected about 34 premises in Mumbai, and we found that these premises, they were some vehicles were kept there. There was the lithium batteries also, and the premises didn't have the trade certificate. The RTO, the respective RTO, they have issued the notice to them, and I'm getting the reply from them, we'll take the further action. Around 36 scooters have been confiscated. I mean, they were impounded, not confiscated, they are impounded. And as when we'll get the response, the RTO will verify the response and will take the further action as per the law. See, as per the Central Motor Vehicle Act, if the place from where you are registering or you are selling the vehicle has to be registered with the RTO department, and they must obtain the trade certificate. We found that they didn't have the trade certificate for this premises, so the notice has been given to them. See, the registering authority has to take the action. The respective RTO, depending upon the response, they will take the action as per the law. So we have to just wait for them what action they will take, because I am yet to get any report from them, and the registering authority is the RTO. But right now, this premises has been seized and they are not operating on that premises. See, we have received the complaint regarding this mismatch in the Vahan data also, and we are examining that. Right now, I will just say that we are examining the complaint. If we found anything wrong, we will take the action.
Ola Electric was down about 4% in yesterday's trading session. Regulatory issue run-ins continue for the company. We'll keep an eye out on the stock in today's trading session as well. But let's get in a roundup of all the commodity market action. Manisha Gupta, as always, joins in. Manisha, what did you track overnight?
Well, I'm looking at the copper prices really because we're trading at near all-time highs on LME. We have seen $11,000 a ton breach on the higher side as well. Well, copper has been the best performing commodity or rather metal when you look at base metals and non-ferrous space as well. 28% up in 2025 till time. Traders are redirecting shipments from Asia to US ahead of potential tariffs that the US administration has been talking about for some time now, and that seems to be adding premium to prices there. Also, when you look at the US copper prices vis-a-vis the rest of the world, we are at a near record high premium in the US markets there. Well, not just copper. If you look at the gold prices, holding at record highs onto that one as well, at around $3,050 an ounce. And then you have the crude oil prices, which are headed for a second weekly gain. The markets are looking at fresh U.S. sanctions on Iran, and then OPEC is planning to cut output for 7 members until 2026. So all news that seems to be coming in has been very supportive for all these commodities.
All right, Manisha, thank you very much for that. So the commodities in focus. We'll take a quick commercial break here. We speak about the Manappuram deal, Bain deal, and we'll have the analyst from Elara, Shweta Daptardar is the Vice President, Diversified Financials at Elara. So conversation coming up.